Oh, all the emotions are coming because the tension was so high, especially during that second set.
In Dubai, Alex Eala just did the most bizarre thing. You're definitely kicking yourself right now if you didn't see it live, because this 20-year-old Filipino just pulled off a match that will be talked about for a very long time. Allow me to explain why this wasn't only a victory. It was a declaration. World number 40 Alex Eala defeated world number 8 and defending WTA 1000 champion Jasmine Paolini as soon as she entered center court at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships. One of the most reliable players on the circuit at the moment in straight sets, 6-1, 7-6, and 1 hour and 40 minutes of unrelenting, unflinching tennis. In all honesty, the score doesn't fully convey the audacity of this performance. Listen, let's discuss what Alex was up against here before we get into the actual match. Jasmine Paolini is more than just a player in the top 10 on a hot streak. This is a 2024 WTA 1000 champion. Someone who has competed against the world's best and won. This person has substantial Grand Slam experience. This is a seasoned player with poise, experience, and a game that has been tested at the greatest level. Alex, who is 20 years old, is still learning how to handle these enormous tournaments, figuring out life on tour, and developing her ranking, confidence, and career. On paper, this ought to have been a learning exercise, a sort of match where participants compete and see what happens. However, Alex failed to understand the memo because of her actions on center court, which went beyond simple competition to include dominance. To be honest, the first set was insane, so let's start with that. After the jump, Alex is fired up. She is combative. Her feet are moving. Play is being dictated by her. She also won the first set 6-1 in just 25 minutes. That's like demolishing a top 10 player, not just defeating them. You could sense the energy building the entire time as she hit 2 service aces and converted 2 break points in that set. Paolini is searching the internet for information about what's going on. Furthermore, Alex is completely focused on playing the type of tennis that makes you sit up and say, wait, hold on. Who is this child? This is what I adore about that initial set. Power wasn't the only factor. Blazing winners and hoping they land wasn't enough. Alex was intelligent. She was throwing Paolini off balance by varying the tempo and angles. The strategy was as obvious as day. Keep her from settling. Keep her from finding rhythm. From the very first ball, make her uncomfortable. That's mature thinking for a 20-year-old. Until someone has been on tour for 5, 6, or 7 years, you typically don't see that kind of tactical awareness. Alex, however, has been studying. She has been viewing movies. Every game, every defeat, every near miss has taught her something new. And now, everything is starting to fit together. Okay, so let's talk about the second set. Paolini is a champion for a reason, so this is where things start to get really interesting. She won't simply roll over and take a thrashing from a player who is 39 spots lower than her. She then begins to fight back. She gets to work on her game. Alex, on the other hand, never lets up. She leads 5-3 going into the match and is just 1 game away from her greatest career victory. And this is typically where the nerves start to show if you're Alex. At this stage, you stop merely playing the point in front of you and begin to consider what it implies. Doubt starts to sneak in at this point. Here's the problem, though. Paolini is too talented to ignore it. She is too skilled and cunning. At 5-5, she ties it up in retaliation. Alex is now 1 game away from losing the set and needing to play a deciding after she takes the lead 6-5. All of that momentum from the opening set is suddenly in jeopardy. You know what Alex does, though? She keeps it. She forces a tie-break after fighting back to 66. And pay attention, tie-breaks are cruel at this level. Each point seems to weigh 1,000 pounds. It's over after 1 poor choice, 1 shanked ball, and 1 pause. It goes back and forth as they enter the tie-break. Trading with winners, 4-4. Neither player is blinking. And champions are created at this point. This is where you learn the true nature of a person. Alex gains traction. She begins to play freely. She's pushing Paolini around, hitting targets, and making her earn every point. And Alex wins 7-5 in the tie-break when it counts most, when the pressure is at its highest. It's match time. Completely upset. Number 8 in the world. In front of a crowded center court, Jasmine Paolini was recently defeated by a 20-year-old Filipino. And if you were in that stadium, you most likely couldn't hear what you were thinking because thousands of Filipino supporters erupted. Here's what makes this victory even more noteworthy. Alex has never performed better in a WTA 1000 tournament than this one. She has already participated in 6 events this year. She has been working hard, learning, and developing at the Australian Open, Philippine Women's Open, Abu Dhabi Open, Qatar Open, and ASB Classic. However, this is the turning point. This is the opponent list she is compiling and the I belong here declaration she has been working for. It's becoming absurd. Madison Keys, Clara Tauson, Ega Swiatek, and now Jasmine Paolini. That is a killer's row of elite talent. Although she hasn't defeated them all, the fact that she is competing against them and already defeating them tells you everything you need to know about the direction her game is taking. Do you know what this makes me think of? Miami last year, that where Alex achieved his goal and became known as the Giant Slayer. The tennis community began to take notice at that point. People began to say, okay, this child is more than just hype. At that point, she is authentic, and she's doing it once more in Dubai. She's demonstrating that it wasn't an anomaly. She is demonstrating her ability to keep up with the finest. This wasn't just some random tournament battle, so let's take a moment to discuss the background. This is a huge WTA 1000 event called the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships. This is an elite level of competition. And after losing in the round of 16 the previous year, Paolini entered as the 6th seed. She needs to prove something. She is driven. Alex simply didn't give a damn. Here's a fun bit of history, too. Although this was their first match in singles, they had previously played each other in doubles when Alex and Coco Gauff fell to Paolini and Sara Errani in the quarterfinals of the Italian Open in May 2025. There was some familiarity and some history there, but singles are a very different species. Additionally, Alex's day was today. The cerebral aspect of this performance is what now makes it even more remarkable. Because this is the situation. Playing in the top 10 is one thing, but performing in front of a stadium full of your supporters, people who travel just to see you, is quite another. An alternative form of pressure is when people are singing your name. The majority of 20-year-olds would crumble under it. The majority of players would tense up due to the weight of expectations. But she flourished, Alex. She thrived on that vitality. Every cheer, every wave of the Filipino flag in the stands, and every, let's go, Alex. She used that as motivation. Champion mentality is that. That is the energy of a superstar. And how she responded to Paolini's second set comeback. That's where the growth is most noticeable. Perhaps she lost that tie-break a year ago. Perhaps she is affected by her nerves. Perhaps she begins to act frightened. Not today, though. She played through it today. She remained combative. She had faith in her shots. And she shut it out as if she had done it all her life. Okay, so what will happen to Alex next? She advances to the round of 16, where she will play Romanian Sran Sara, who is presently rated number 32. And pay attention, this will not be an easy task. Both of these have a past. In a close 3-set match at the 2024 Madrid Open, Cercia prevailed 6-3, 6-7, 6-4. Cercia is aware of Alex's capabilities. Alex is aware of her ability to compete with her. Here's how this match differs from that one, though. Assurance. Alex just had her best victory to date. She recently defeated a player ranked in the top 10 in straight sets. She is moving forward. She has faith. Additionally, she has the support of an entire nation. CAE has served in the military. She is cunning. She has expertise. Although I'm not a betting man, Alex has that. I just beat world number 8 in swagger right now, and if I had to wager on this match, I would take her because she is playing out of her mind right now. She is returning like a machine and moving and serving effectively. Most significantly, she thinks she can prevail. That alone is half the fight. Alex's current actions aren't limited to a single tournament, so let's take a moment to discuss the wider picture. This has to do with developing a career. She needs to demonstrate that she is worthy of being in the top 50, top 40, top 30, and eventually, yes, I will say it, the top 10. She is 20 years old. 20. The majority of athletes don't even reach their peak until they are in their mid-20s. She still has years of physical, mental, and tactical growth ahead of her, but she is already outperforming the top 10 players and going far in major competitions. This place has an alarmingly high ceiling. You know what's crazy, too? Fans from the Philippines are flocking to see her. Wherever she performs, including Australia and Abu. There is a sizable, boisterous, and fervent Filipino population in the audience in Dhabi, Dubai. Support from fans like that doesn't just happen. This is because, to them, Alex is more than just a tennis player. She is a representation. She is evidence that someone from the Philippines can compete internationally. She is a living example.